This morning I got an awesome little surprise. Something came a little bit early from Microsoft, the white Xbox One Elite controller. So we're gonna unbox this guy, take a look at it, see what's different between it and the original, and kind of go over once again everything you're gonna get with it. So it comes in this cool little pouch right here, which just like the original black one did. It looks like the coloring on this though is a little brighter and even has little white tags. So if you own multiple Elite controllers, easy way to know which one to put in which case. Let's open it up. Oh, that's cool. That actually looks a lot nicer. So there's a lot different actually going on with this guy. I mean, obviously, the big obvious aesthetic difference is it's white. And they did a full whiteout design, which I really like. You can see on the buttons right here, they've done a couple white controllers in the past, like the Sport White and the Winter Forces, and those have white buttons like this, but the actual symbols are kind of a dark gray. This just keeps the whole thing white, which I think is a much better look. And it looks like there's actually been a lot of little changes they've made to the coloration to kind of differentiate it just a little bit more and I think work better with that white color. For instance, if you look at the original Elite, there's kind of just a simple chrome symbol right here for the Xbox logo, whereas here it has more of a kind of metallic sheen. Similar to the metallic bits on here, but just a lot more reflective. I also really like all the lettering and marks on here for the buttons, like for the menu and select, Xbox up top. Instead of being just kind of a metallic gray, it has that same kind of sheen that the Xbox logo does, which is really nice. Now, one color they did keep from the original Elite that I really like here actually is the little green highlights you get on the switches, the sync button, and just a couple little notches on the D-pad. Seeing it here, I actually kind of wish that they maybe fully embraced it just a little bit more. I really like this green with this white. So maybe if they did something like applying the green to the anti-friction rings or doing what they've done with some of the, like the gray and green controller they have, having it on the stick body, I think that would look really nice. This is still awesome. I'm just really curious to see what that would have looked like with that little adjustment. And then one other area that hasn't really changed, as far as I can tell, let's actually hold these up side by side. Yeah, so the rubber grips here are the same kind of dark gray that we have on the Elite controller, but obviously the visual effect is a lot different because whereas this is kind of a highlight versus the rest of the black body, this is giving a really hard contrast to the white that you can't really see from the front too much, maybe a little bit on the bottom, but it does give it a really nice looking back. Now, just like with the original Elite controller, there are a whole lot of different added functions and extra little goodies that come with this controller, so let's check those out. We've got these 4 remappable paddles on the back, which you can remove if you don't want to use them, and these little switches right here will switch our triggers from being a full traditional stop to being just a quick half stop. We also, of course, have, at least by default on the controller, the changed D-pad, the faceted design, which gives it a much better kind of rolly feeling to it. We have anti-friction rings around the sticks so that when you move them around a lot, it doesn't really feel like there's actually anything it's rubbing up against. Sometimes with normal controllers, you'll feel that little bit of resistance that can get annoying. Doesn't come here at all. And then, of course, on the front of the controller, you have this little switch right here that goes between 1 and 2. This is to change between 2 different profiles that you can have saved that you set up through the Xbox Controller Companion app. Now, all of that is pretty cool, but there's a lot of extra stuff that comes in the bag that you can add on to the controller as well. For instance, one of the things that really makes this thing awesome is how easy it is to switch out these sticks and D-pad. So on the D-pad, we have that faceted design, but if you prefer, you can just go to your carrying case and bust out a traditional D-pad that you can just put right there. And then as for sticks, it comes preloaded with the standard stick designs, which have a little concave head and are a shorter grip, but you also have options for a convex head that also is a little taller, really good to use for your right stick, and another concave head that has that longer grip as well if you prefer it. Then of course we also have the carrying case, which we already showed off, and then a 10-foot long braided cable. It just says USB cable. Okay, so long cable end. Probably have to add a little bit because it's not, perfectly taut. There. Okay, it's like an 8.5, 9-foot cable. All right, it's 9. We're just gonna say it's 9. And then of course you also get the carrying case, which we already looked at, and a braided cable you can use when you want to just play directly wired to your Xbox. Overall, this is a really pretty controller. I mean, you're getting all the same benefits and strengths of the original Xbox One Elite, and if you didn't jump on getting one of those just yet, this is an awesome one to grab instead. I think the white plays really well with the other colors. It just has a really nice clean look, and if you're planning on grabbing the new white Xbox One X, or you're still working with the white original Xbox One S, this is gonna pair with it perfectly.